Brian, Kallum's deal, how significant in terms of news is that for the club?
It's brilliant news. He's obviously he's one of the, if not the hottest property in the comp, isn't he? So over in this side of the world, and would be a hot property anywhere in the world. So for him to commit to us, it's a big thing for us, a big thing for him.
Was there any credible threat that you're aware of to his long-term future actually being here?
Credible threat, no. Threats and inquiries and people, you know, always wanting to know where he's at, and clubs and other sportsmen to know where he's at, and is there any mileage in talking to him and all that. That was constant. That's been constant, and why wouldn't it be? You know, he's hitting form. He's in the peak of his career, and you know, he's going to attract that type of attention.
What is it that makes him such a talent, as far as you're concerned?
We don't have to go too far or seek too far to know that he's an athlete, that he's an exceptional athlete. But we've seen so many athletes play our game that there's such athletes where I suppose their ring craft or their game awareness is not as it should be. Where Kallum's one of these special people that has always had that game awareness and skill. His ability to catch and pass is second to none. He's got some real subtle hands on him. He's the complete package in terms of a player. But just certainly over the last 3 or 4 years, you know, and this season has grown so much, you know, as a player and a captain. He seems to be enjoying it as well. And you know, I think the biggest credit I could give him is during 2016, you know, my way of qualifying everything seems to be that going back to 2016, but during that really tough period, he stepped up, Cal. And it was then that I thought, he's got a bit. And it's easy to miss leaders when you've got people like Simfield, Maguire, Burrow, Peacock in your ranks. You know, you quite often you don't get to see the other leaders in the team. But he stood up, and you're both on and off the field. And when Danny Maggs moved on, you know, he was the obvious choice as captain, and he's relishing the role right now.
What about the team news this week? Because this will be the week for Adam Cuthbertson. Yes,
Cuthbert's got a chance. He's out there training now, and if he gets the green light after training, he'll play. Which is great for us and great for him. We've missed him, and you know, he'll provide some work ethic for us and provide a bloke who can carry the ball and tackle. But he's obviously more than that, and he has another dimension to his game. Whether he's able to put that dimension into his game tomorrow night, I don't know, because it's his first game back after I think about 7 weeks. So, like all injured players who come back and they get thrown straight back in, we'll cut him some slack. But you know, he's one of the first props to come back from injury, you know, for a while. So, you know, we've still got 3 out there, so he'll be welcome back.
Are the other guys on schedule, the more longer term ones?
Yeah, on the schedule. Nathaniel Peteroo's still going to be a number of weeks, maybe a couple of weeks, 3 weeks, maybe. Garbutt's going to be more than that. You know, he's still 8 weeks at least. Garbs with his knee. He had some drilling done on his knee, and so we lost him for what we thought was going to be like it was always going to be a lengthy one with his knee. But when they went in and had a look, they found a bit more damage than what we thought there were. So he'll be about 8 weeks from now. You know, we're still waiting on him coming back, and then, you know, we'll see where we're at with that. But people like Brad Singleton and Jamie Jones and Brett Delaney have just been tackling the shoulders off, haven't they? And it's almost like they've been just doing so much work for each other that something like a Cuthbert coming back, it'll be a welcome return for them.
What do you expect you're going to get from Wigan?
I don't know. I hope they play. I hope they don't go on about lead runners all the time. I know they've been banging on about lead runners this year, haven't they? And just last week they've been banging about lead runners, and I agree. I agree with Sean Wayne. I think their try that was cancelled off against Catalans was silly, but I don't think the comp's got. I don't think the referees have got it wrong so far this year. I think the question is, was the defensive line hindered? That's where we got to in the coaches' meetings. When you decided what are the guidelines and the criteria for cancelling a try off. And what we found was too much emphasis was placed on looking at the offence, about whether the bloke catches it or goes behind the lead runner, or the lead runner comes across the bloke who's out the back, and all that type of thing. And not enough emphasis was placed on looking at the D-line. And the simple question is, has the D-line been disadvantaged? Has the D-line had to alter any of their action in their ability to defend that particular play or shape? And if the answer is yes, they have been altered, they had to alter what they did because of the offence's lead runner, well, it should get chalked off. I don't think their try against Catalan should have been chalked off, but I don't think the comp's got it wrong so far this year. And just because Wigan use an incredible amount of those block plays, block, they could build 25 houses of concrete blocks with the amount of block plays they use. Well, of course, they then are going to suffer more than most teams. I don't think anybody's got it out for them. So I don't know whether Sean Wayne, who's more intelligent than what people give him credit for, is playing a game there, trying to influence the referees. I do hope we don't see any influence of his comments on the game.
I was going to say, does it put undue pressure on whoever it is who takes charge?
I do hope not. I hope the video referee tomorrow night looks at the D-line and asks the question, was anybody in the D-line at a disadvantage while trying to defend that player? Just keep asking that question. Not did he make contact, or did he hit his inside shoulder, outside shoulder, or did he catch the ball inside or outside the leader, and all that. Just, was anybody at a disadvantage? So that's why I thought the Catalan try should have been awarded, because the bloke that one of their lead runners made contact with the Catalan's play, but it was so far on the inside of the line that the try was scored so far out wide. When in answer to the question, was anybody disadvantaged? No, there wasn't.
Will be one of your toughest challenges of the season so far, though.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it will be. Absolutely. It'll be played at a level of intensity that we haven't faced so far this year, so it'd be a good test for us.
Similar to the sort of Saints away game in terms of intensity? In
terms of build up to it, yeah, and in terms of, we go to Saints, in that fixture we went to Saints looking headed into a game knowing full well it was going to be a big game, and the ruck speed may be a bit quicker, the collisions a bit harder and a bit more. The quality of plays and shapes and attack that we face is going to be a level above. So yeah, it'll be in that ilk.
Brian, back to Kallum, I know you said that it's wonderful for the competition that you've kept a player of that calibre. For the club though, you must have created an atmosphere where you captain somebody like that, somebody significant, really wants to stay. What is it about Leeds Rhinos that creates that atmosphere where people want to commit their long-term careers? Because people may underestimate just how important it is for a player who's grown up here to want to stay here probably to the end of his career.
Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment. That's the environment, if you like, or the culture at Leeds has been here for quite some time, long before I got here. So everybody at the club plays a part in that, whether it be Chris Gibson, Rob Oates, Gary Hetherington, right through to Jason Davis and Andy Barker, the physio and the strength and conditioning fellas. Everybody has a part to play, and I think most players want to see that the club's going forward. I think it's not about whether they win trophies or not. I believe, I don't know, you'd have to ask Kallum, but I think that's all nice if you win some silverware, but I think they want to know that in 2 or 3 years' time, is the club going to be in better position than what it is now? Is the team going to be a better team, a better squad than what it is now? Are we able to recruit and get some of the better players out there? Are we going to retain some of our best players? Is the club going to be healthy? All these questions, would go through a player's mind, I would imagine. So I don't think it's any one particular person or any particular one department of our club that's enabled them to stay. I think the whole club is, quite often if we ever do anything good, I often say it's a club effort, because it's true. There's such a cohesion within the club, and I'm sure the players feel that as well. So ask Kallum, but I would suspect that he would think the club's in a really healthy position. And we just trained out there this morning, and it's still crazy because the south stand's still under construction and the north stand's like a tent. I watched from a tent. It's almost like a garden fete tent, judging marrows and broccoli. You know, yeah, have you ever been around those? Those
big carrots.
Yeah. I might just go around and judge a few. I'm not making a comment about the people who sit next to me in the games, by the way. They look nothing like vegetables. But I'm just looking at the construction that's going on, and it's going to be brilliant when it's finished. It really is going to be impressive. And then once it's up and running in 2019, I was talking to Rob Oates, our commercial director, yesterday, and he was giving me a bit of a steer on when we'll start to reap some of the benefits from that. You know, and you do know that we're putting some stuff in place, which means the club's going to be in unbelievable healthy condition, as long as everybody keeps doing their bits, by the way. You know, it just doesn't run itself. And I'm sure players feed off that. I'm sure they get that. I'm guessing that's why Kallum's committed, along with another few reasons as well.
Just to point on something that you mentioned before, with the top four looking as it is, I know that you stopped St Helens' winning run. Mentally, do you think that could be positive for you, perhaps reflecting on what you did against them, facing Wigan tomorrow?
Well, we know we can beat Wigan, yeah, for sure, yeah. We're in good shape for that. You know, we're keen to do so as well. Wigan haven't won here for quite some time. People make a big deal about that, but then we haven't won at Wigan for quite some time, and I don't think it's such a big deal that the strong teams win at home. You know, you look at Premiership football, it normally happens. Your strong teams win at home, so we know we can beat Wigan. We know we need to be good. Do you know, I don't think we've ever beat Wigan and they've been poor. You know, I don't think it's ever been a case of, well, they were poor. I know Sean Wayne always says they were poor tonight, and that's why Leeds won. But you know, there's always been a strong game, a competitive game, and if we're going to beat Wigan tomorrow night, we'll need to be good.